Hey guys, this is my wrap up for HIFF. I'm basically going to talk about my experience as having a press pass for HIFF, going to the different films, different foreign films, just my entire experience. First of all, I was so ridiculously excited to have a press pass because it really gave me a feel for what it is like to be press at an event. I mean, granted, I wasn't shadowing an actual press member per se, but I did have the, press pass, first press pass ever. But I did get to go to where, events where only press were allowed. I got to experience, taking pictures at a press conference, taking notes from, getting quotes of what people were saying, trying to put together an interesting story, for an audience. And for me, it was really jumping in the deep end of the pool because I have taken no formal journalism classes. I'm a multimedia major, so I've been primarily focusing on graphic and visual communication, so like film, graphic design, web design, that sort of thing. So communicating through my writing, I've always been a strong writer, but writing in a journalism style is a completely different animal. So it was quite interesting for me, I'm there, juggling my camera, my notebook, my recorder, my pencil, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's a really good quote, I need to get that, and then I'm just like, oh no, wait, I gotta get that picture, he's moving his hand, and you're probably laughing because he's moving his hand, but what I learned in photojournalism is photographers start going nuts when people are giving a press conference and they're motioning, because it's like something in action. So anyways, I don't know, I just thought it was amazing to be a part of the press for HIFF. I got to experience 4 or 5 different films. Those are the only ones I was able to make it to. I got to go to the opening press conference, the closing press conference, and there were a couple of other press events. I couldn't make it to them, unfortunately, but I really feel that the overall experience was amazing. I mean, I feel like I learned a lot, and now that I have a better idea of what to expect if I were granted the privilege to go back a second year as press for HIFF, I would have a better idea of how to approach stories, or how to approach people for articles on, it's trial and error. So I had a lot of error this time, but I feel like I learned a lot, and I took a lot away from it. Now, I was always one of those people that's just like, oh, foreign films, so boring, which is really kind of snobby. But at this HIFF season, I learned to appreciate foreign films, and it's probably because I did take a film class before I went to this HIFF season. So, actually several, and we had guest speakers too. So they were telling us, you take a look at what is outside of the American film industry. You can learn something from every single movie. Even if you don't necessarily even have to look at the captions when you're watching a foreign film. Just look at the movie in the big picture. Pay attention to the message in the movie. Pay attention to the camera angles. Pay attention to the manner in which they film. Pay attention to the script if that's what you want to pay attention to. The speed of the movie. American movies move the fastest, by far, in the industry. It's kind of crazy. But I watched an Italian film called The Salt of Life, and it was a slow movie. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I did read the captions because I really wanted to know what was going on. And it was such a cute film. It made me laugh because I was it was about a man that was, I guess, going through growing pains of getting older. And of course I'm not a man, so I can't say I can totally relate to that. But in my mind, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's really hilarious. That must be what it's like to get older for a guy. He wants the young girls, and he wants his youth back. He can't charm the ladies anymore. He's stuck taking care of his mom. And it was a really heartwarming film. It was slow, but slow films can work too. I think it's really about the message and the heart that the directors need to get across, and I really feel that this director did. I think it was called Star-Crossed Love. It was a Filipino film, and that one I didn't care for that much. I thought it was cheesy, and I hate to say it, but it just struck me as like softcore porn. I mean, it's just, there were naked people everywhere. Just everywhere. And I'm like, I'm here for a story, not to see naked people every 2 seconds. I mean, yeah. I really can't appreciate that film. I'm not trying to be a prude, but I couldn't appreciate it. On top of that, the film quality wasn't that great. Like, I'm not sure what kind of cameras they used, but it was kind of grainy, and that just was a drawback for me. And they had some cheesy graphic overlays that were kind of comic book-like, and I just feel didn't fit the movie. But, I saw a film from Denmark called Headhunters. Absolutely brilliant. It was amazing. Like, I sat there, I was just like, oh my gosh, the entire time. I was just freaking out. The friend I was with was freaking out. Everybody in the audience was freaking out. It was such a good movie, so you must go see Headhunters. Must go. And, but I think the Italian film, The Salt of Life, and Headhunters, I really feel like they opened my eyes to, good foreign films. Because, I mean, sure, we have good films in America, but we also have really, really crappy ones too. And I think my misconception was that all foreign films are crappy. And that's kind of ignorant. And I really learned that that isn't true. So, yeah, this HIFF season has really opened up my eyes to the foreign films. And I would really, really love to repeat this experience again. Well, not repeat it, but experience the HIFF season again as press. Because, and even if I don't experience it as press, I'm definitely going back, because I feel like I learned so much, and you learn so much from all these different cultures through their movies. It's visual storytelling, and there's emotion, there's laughter, there's tears. And it's so great what people take away from these movies. And that is pretty much my wrap of HIFF. It was amazing, and I would love to experience it again. I'll talk to you guys later.